Well, hello, and welcome back to the War Thunder official channel. Hello, everyone. We have a preview of a new update for you today, coming still this year, in fact, which is going to be surprising a lot of people, but I'm guessing you already saw the Russian stream. My name is Michael Boom, and I am joined by the lovely Tom Morgan. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about this update coming up?
Well, it's a nice little update to round off the end of the year, I think. Nothing incredibly major, I guess, but there's some really nice additions here and there, which, you know, there's things for everyone in every respect, which I really like. So, you know, it's not exactly a massive update in that respect, but there are things all over the place that are pretty enjoyable, so hopefully we can show you some of those today.
Did also just completely spill some water on myself right there.
I mean, I didn't notice.
Now, I'm not quite switching over to the game sound just yet because I want you to listen to this. You should be able to listen to this on the stream, hopefully. Maybe you can guess. I want to see some guesses in the chats what this could possibly be. You're hearing a jet engine spooling up. Listen to the sound. We're going to be both quiet right now.
He's been excited about that all day.
You have no idea how excited I've been to show that off. You have
so hyped
no
about
idea.
that.
This is... I love this sound. This is the new A7 Corsair II coming to War Thunder in this upcoming patch. New top tier, pretty much, jet attacker for the US Tech tree. It has a lot of ordnance options. It is really quite nice. It has a bit of a weird face, wouldn't you say?
Don't do
Something that Twitch might be very
don't do the joke.
reminded of, to say the least. And this gets 30mm gun pods, which are not too dissimilar from the 30mm cannon that the A10 gets. These are
very powerful.
I'm sorry, I just love this sound. It sounds like a siren. It's look, like you could be. Imagine this thing could be underwater and just imagine hearing this out at sea.
Very terrifying.
It's very terrifying. Let me see if I can get a bit of a cinematic effect going on here.
He's been so excited about that all day.
I really have. You have no idea how much I
morning,
have.
You were so hyped.
You really have no
about
idea how much I have. So let me quickly show you the ordnance options and all the good stuff in the tech tree. So the A7D is currently at battle rating 10.7. Keep in mind that all of this is subject to change, as you can see by the big work in progress letters in bold up above my very shiny head. And this has a lot of ordnance options. Holy
Quite
crap.
so.
You can carry, you know, up to 6 2,000-pound bombs, which are equivalent to like 1,000-kilogram bombs. You can carry 12 1,000-pound bombs. You can carry 14 750-pound bombs, which is also pretty damn powerful. These are... And look at all these rockets. Let's put it like this. Would you say this is a versatile jet?
Oh, incredibly, Michael Spoon. Incredibly
versatile. Not only do you get all these CAS options, you do also get access to AIM-9Js. Now, you only get 2 of them. I don't think I've seen any other option here with more than 2. But AIM-9Js are pretty damn powerful, so you can use this in a limited air-to-air combat capability as well. Especially since it does actually get some flares as well, so you can defend yourself a little bit more easily against enemy air-to-air missiles. Let's just put it like that. But enough A7D, how about we move on to something new, interesting, and a little quality of life change, I would say. Don't you think, Tom?
Yeah, sort of something that's, well, it doesn't really change the game a huge amount, but looks really nice. So effectively, a lot of tanks have been given new track models. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the American ones here. As before, maybe if some of you know, the tracks weren't sort of 3D extensively, and now a lot of them are. So you can see here the detail. They look really nice, and from the side they actually do poke out as they didn't before, and they all have very unique models all across the board. I think pretty much the majority of tanks now have these working, so they do look really great. And we have a look on the rubber ones on the M3 here.
I like these rubber ones a lot with the like dark rubber coating.
They're
That's
pretty
nice.
So yeah, this is not, you know, it's not going to change the game a huge amount, but it does look really nice. And that's, I guess, all we can really say about those. But the models themselves look really great, really crisp. You can really see the metal effect on them as well, which is really nice. I'm glad these are here.
And keep in mind, there's like multiple tanks. We're not even going to be able to show all the tanks that will get these new tracks in this upcoming update. It's old World War II stuff, it's modern MBTs. Just once the update drops, or once the dev server drops, whenever that drops, you can check it out got all the new tracks and camos. But let's move over to actually. Oh, you cheeky! I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there, responding to the comment by Fred here, asking to show the 30mm gun pod penetration. Well, there you go.
I got you, fam. Don't worry.
It doesn't get the DU penetrator rods. It doesn't quite have that high penetration that you would maybe want, but it still has quite a bit. And with that fire rate and that much ammo. But I want to show you something a little bit interesting. We have a new plane coming to not only the American tech tree, but actually I think like 3, 4, 5 different tech trees, if I'm not mistaken.
All over the place.
The F-84F Thunderstreak, I believe it is called. I might be mistaken. Do correct me in the comments, perhaps. Yeah, this is a new jet coming to a bunch of nations. We have one for the Americans, we have one for the French, we have one for the Germans. I believe the Italians might get one as well. Don't quote me on that. And it's an F-84. You don't really have too many ordnance options right now, but it should be a nice one for all the collectors out there. Speaking of nice one for the collectors, Tom, I know you've been very, very excited about this upcoming one, haven't you?
It's just, I mean, so most people probably won't find it that interesting, but I love the kind of early stuff like this. This is the PB-1M Mariner. As some of you probably know, we do have a event vehicle Mariner in the game. This is one of the earlier versions with the kind of quintessential early design of the very yellow wings here. And it's a 2.0 flying boat, very, very big and probably quite tanky as well for what it is. And covered in some 50 cals around the back as well. And ordnance-wise, for 2.0, currently, it's actually really good. It has all of these bombs, it has 4 1000s, and as they are stored internally, they drop individually at the moment, which is really, really powerful. It's not exactly an aircraft that will work too well in combined battles, but with those 4 drops, you can probably certainly do a lot of work. I really like this kind of thing, so, don't really want to overhype it, but I think it's really cool.
See, there's going to be a lot of people in the chat asking why we are hyping up so much a low-tier vehicle, but this one is actually really quite interesting. Yeah. Firstly, I'm sorry, but the wings look like a banana, and I love that. I love weird, quirky designs.
The one selling feature.
Yes. Well, apart from the big bomb loads, which honestly at 2.0, 4 1,000-pound bombs, and it's a boat plane, so it's actually quite resistant to rifle caliber damage.
Yeah, there's lots of empty space. I love the design of these 50 balls on the side here. Those are really, really nice.
Oh, that is so cute. Those 2 guys in the gunner seats in the back.
Just hanging out, like you do.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
What is next?
Oh boy. See, we're just putting out all the good stuff right at the start of the stream, right? So this is the plane that Tom has been very excited about. And maybe something else we shall not talk about yet. I've been extremely excited about this one.
Yes, he has. Can confirm.
Let me just see if I can get the name right. Die Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251-21 mit 1,5 cm MG 151.
I have no idea if any of that's right. That could all be nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
So here's the thing. Let's be frank. Germany already has a lot of AA.
They do.
There's probably AA dispatch rating which is better. I don't care. I love the 251 chassis. It's like a classic. We already have one in the game right now, which was available as a reward from one of the recent events. And this one is, I love it. So one thing to keep in mind, this is the early model. Despite saying MG151, this is not the 20mm cannons. This is the 15mm cannons, which you can also find on, I believe, the BF-109F1 or the F2. I can't remember which one of the two it is.
I think it's the F2. I can't remember.
Might be the F2. It has the option to mount a 15mm cannon. And you would say, why would I take a 15mm cannon over a 20mm cannon? See. This has the Cermet core. You have the option of unlocking this last belt with 50mm of penetration. Which, okay, the caliber isn't that great, so it's probably not going to be really doing that much damage. But I want to show you something real quick in a test drive. Which, actually, two things. Firstly, the sound of these guns, which is actually kind of amazing. And secondly, we have new firing effects. So, in the past update and last update, we have received new graphical effects for aircraft guns and bomb explosions and all the good stuff.
Look at his little face. Look how happy he is right now. Look at that. His little face.
Dude, I love the gun sound.
It's very nice, yeah. I can confirm.
It's like a very angry typewriter.
It's very specific. I can't disagree.
I love the design of the belts. Of course, keep in mind this is all still work in progress. As you can see, we don't have any crew currently in this vehicle, but honestly, you don't need any crew. The vehicle speaks for itself, really. The Imposter on YouTube saying pre-recorded. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
No, not really. By the way, you should probably actually advise the chat real quick. If you are on Twitch, make sure that you connect your accounts on gss.gaijin.net because we do currently have a drops event going on.
That we do.
And do you know what rewards are, Tom?
It's the Dark Class torpedo boat, I believe.
Exactly, a Twitch drop version. That's a unique vehicle. Well, unique. It's a copy of the main factory version, but it's a separate vehicle with a unique camo, which actually looks quite nice.
Yeah.
We have a decal, which looks very much like Earthworm Jim, to be honest.
That's what I thought when I saw it as well. You're very right on that front.
It's very much heavily referenced on that. And on top of that, we actually have a free day of premium account as well. If you have never had premium before, now's your chance. Watch War from the streams over this weekend, make sure that your accounts are connected, and you can get yourself a free day of premium, so you can use it on this weekend. Nice.
Nice.
But let's switch over to Tom. He has another vehicle that he wants to present, which is a very nice camo, actually.
Yeah, it's a very nice camo. I'm a very boring person, so I love camouflage. But this is one of the new winter vehicles that were announced earlier today. This is the final tank reward. And a bit like Roy Cat, bit like a Radkampf, it's a pretty interesting vehicle, and also it doesn't really look very big, right? But it is. I mean, this threw me initially as well, so I'll quickly show you the ammunition here. So pretty standard stuff for this kind of caliber of gun. But this thing, I will take it into a very quick test drive for you.
Actually, whilst you take it out into a test drive, show off the gun effect on the bigger calibers as well.
I certainly shall.
And don't worry, guys, I know you want to see it. Yes, we are going to be showing off the firing effect on the FV405. Just wait for that. Oh.
So pretty much all of these high caliber guns have a new effect, which is really, really nice. And catches the ground forces up to aircraft with those new effects as well, which is great. But yeah, this thing is actually really, really big.
It is huge.
Which doesn't really give the impression in the hangar. But next to the IT-1 here, which isn't necessarily a very big vehicle, but it barely, gets over the hull of this thing. So it's pretty huge, which, I mean, while this thing is very, very quick with a great gun, it probably is going to be quite weak to helicopters and that kind of thing just because of how large a target it is. But it's very, very mobile with a pretty good gun. And armor-wise, of course, it's not the most well-protected thing. It's obviously not really a vehicle that relies on that very much. But it probably can shrug off a few hits if it's lucky. And additionally, with the smoke launchers it has, if you look in the middle there, there's a sort of little mortar-looking thing. That is a secondary smoke launcher as well. So even once you've finished all of the launches there, you can...
Oh, you get individual drops.
You do. It kind of plonks them out like that. Bloop.
Very nice.
Like throwing a grapefruit. Look at that.
See, this is actually a really underrated feature. Keep in mind, we don't actually know if this is still final. We'll have to wait for the test over the actual live server. All work in progress. But in terms of gameplay, the vehicles that currently are in War Thunder that have the individual smoke drops, they are really useful. You can make a smoke screen for much, much longer than you usually could with those barrages of smoke vehicles. Can you show the X-ray real quick again?
I certainly can.
You could live in that engine bay.
It probably has like a larger square meter radius than our flat.
I think it might have. See, what is it with Germany lately, getting all those huge vehicles?
Yeah.
Last patch you got the Flaragrad, this huge truck with anti-air missiles on top. Now you have this thing. I really want to see how this thing stacks up against the mouse. We weren't going to be able to show this stream, but I really hope some of our content creators do this on the upcoming dev server sometime when that is ready. Or maybe live patch. I really want to see that. I really want to see that. Maybe. We could have like a show. The biggest vehicles in War Thunder.
We could do that, I suppose. A nifty concept there, Mike.
Now, let's move on to the next vehicle, which is actually slightly special. Now, if you are unaware, the Operation Winter event has already been announced. This winter, as always, you will be able to get some special event vehicles by playing the game and completing certain challenges. If you want to learn more about that, maybe some of the chat mods can post a link, or you can check out the War Thunder website for more information. But I'm going to show you one of the vehicles that are going to be part of this event. The MiG-21 PFM. Yes, this is your pretty much a top tier jet for free by playing the game. It has a amazing camo, to be honest.
It's really, really nice.
I love the way this looks.
Yeah.
See, I really like it when the base vehicles have really nice camos because it makes me feel less guilty about not buying marketplace camos. And also occupies my hard drive space less without having to install all the custom camos. I like base combos that look really nice. And this looks really quite amazing. So this is a currently 10.7 top tier jet in RB. As you can see, we have a 23mm gun pod, which is actually quite interesting. This does not feature an internal gun. Instead, it is featured on a outside mounted gun pod, which is a part of the airframe itself. So there's no of the ordnance options that will remove that gun pod, but it's something to keep in mind. Might add a little bit more of drag. Especially since this is not as powerful as the MiG-21 Biz, nowhere near. It has a much weaker engine. It'll go slower, it'll accelerate slower, all the good stuff. But it has some interesting ordnance options. Not that, sorry. We have this right here, which is rather interesting. The KH-66 rockets, or should I rather say, air-to-ground or maybe even anti-ship missiles. If you have played the Yak-38 Vital Jet, which was released in our last update, you may know that that plane is currently unique and that it has a mouse-aimed air-to-ground missile. Well, this is joining that party. In fact, I can show it to you real quick. As you can see, here you have all the stats. And they aren't really the biggest things around, but since they are mouse-aimed, you can get them very accurately on target from very long ranges. This might quite be useful against, if you, for example, play in custom battles against ships, which I really quite like doing. Or just in regular ground battles, maybe trying to snipe a vehicle from long ranges. And you can do that with this missile. But this is not the only thing you can get, of course. For air-to-air combat, you also have the option of carrying the R60s, which are really quite nice. And you get a whole 4 of them. Maybe I'll just do a quick little test drive to just show you how it works and how it flies.
Give it a go.
Zayden Palmer on YouTube asks, when is this released? Hopefully before the end of this year. We can't make any promises just yet. We are scheduling for before the end of this year, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, honestly, just keep an eye on the news. We shall keep you informed on warthunder.com. Oh, sadly we do not have a copy just quite yet, but it's just for... Oh, Tom.
Yeah?
Tom, it's blue.
It's blue.
It's
it is
blue.
I can confirm that is blue. He is right.
I think it was on the last dev stream we mentioned this, wasn't it?
Yeah, we like that sort of shade of vague teal, I believe.
It is something about the specific shade of blue teal that the Russians use on their jets that I just really, really love. And I think this skin just got pretty much double as good for me.
Yeah. See, we're simple people. We like colours.
Yes, we are very simple-minded, as you can see.
Yes.
I really quite like it. So, this is the MiG-21 PFM. How about we move over to one of the new additions for our naval fans? Tom, take it over.
Yeah, we will take a quick look here at the Project 12412. Probably the wrong way to say the numbers, but I mean, these catchy names are absent from these prototype machines here. What we have with this vehicle is the new end-of-the-line coastal ship for Russia, which combines 2 of the very powerful weapons, analogues of which are found on previous ships. This here has a 30mm in the back and a 57 in the front, and this 57 is automatic. It's very, very powerful gun here. And it also has the rockets that I believe are found on the PR-35 and the 159 as well. It's a pretty large ship, which may be a bit of a problem for it, as it only does have 15 crew members. So knocking out those crew will probably be fairly easy for this thing, but it is armed to the teeth when it comes to these small comparatively for naval caliber guns. So it's going to probably be very, very effective against destroyers and other small craft in the smaller areas of the map. Anything larger, it might struggle a little bit. But for what it is, it's a pretty interesting ship. I'd never even heard of this thing before. It's probably quite a rare vessel, I guess, in that respect. But it is covered in very, very powerful armaments. So it'll be a pretty nice thing to find at the end of the line for the coastal forces in Russia. So I'm probably looking forward to give this thing a go.
I kind of like the way the entire deck is just red.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Gives it a really nice look, doesn't it? Like when you look at it straight from the side, it's completely grey, and you look at it from above, it's a nice contrast. I like that.
It is, yeah. Of course, it also does come with the torpedoes as well, and a particular mounting here, which is quite interesting.
What could that possibly be?
What could that be?
We don't know. We don't know. We are completely unaware of anything.
Not at all,
yeah. Anything else you want to say about that?
Nothing much. I think we should probably wait and see to test it out on the dev server when that appears.
Indeed, indeed. We are teasing this a lot, aren't we?
Perhaps.
Let's move on to showing a bit more tracks. We showed you the ones on the US side a little bit ago. So let's show you some of the US tracks. As you can see, I mentioned this before, World War II vehicles get new tracks, modern-ish vehicles get them as well. The T10M has new tracks, you can see. Very, very pokey, very 3D, very shiny. They look quite nice. And I like the way the interior of tracks looks, actually. It's very, very shiny, very clean. Just clean this up real
Yeah, they
quick.
have a really nice metal look now.
They do,
Really
they
nice.
really do. It's almost as if tracks are made out of metal. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea.
Huh.
No.
So,
Incredible.
and of course we also have this, the T80U, which also gets some new tracks. As you can see, no longer 2D. We have some poking, we have some metal shine, we have all the good things. This one has some rubber runners on the inside. Ah,
There's a lot of detail in there. I really like that.
very much so, very much so. Now, I know. I've used this before, you guys want to see it. I could show you the gun effect of this, of course, which is going to be quite amazing, but let's just cut straight to the point, shall we? Chat, do you want to see the firing effects, the new firing effects of the FE405? Of course you do. Of course you do.
Standard.
This is going to be... How do I put this? If you have any young children watching, you might want them to put them into the next room. Not really for the effect of the firing itself, but for the effect that the firing effect will have on you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does a bit.
How to put this? It's overwhelming. It's a little bit overwhelming. And I feel I hope I'm not overhyping this too much, but I'll just shut up and I'll just fire and let you see what I mean.
That is a hefty explosion there.
We're going to use the old trick of actually restarting because it is faster than the reload of this thing.
Also true.
Let's have a nice little look from the side.
That's huge.
I love how long that fireball stays in the air. It just, very nice.
Very nice.
Very
indeed.
nice. And one last time, because you guys are going to ask. You're not really going to see much from the front because the can barrel is so long, but maybe slight epilepsy warning.
Bright flash.
I love it.
Very nice.
I absolutely love it. In fact, we have one more vehicle that we want to show towards the end of the stream, which is also really quite
Looks
nice.
very good as well.
Like, they're all nice. I don't think I've seen a single firing effect so far that doesn't look nice. All these big cannons, the bigger the cannon, the better the fire effect. It's beautiful. Speaking of fire effects, you have something interesting there, don't you, Tom?
I could, perhaps. Also true.
Let's switch over to Tom's POV. He wants to show you a new vehicle.
Yes, this is the Buccaneer. One of my favorite aircraft. I love the look of this thing. Even though the air brake does remind me of, like, it triggers something in my caveman brain, right? That is like
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Right. It triggers something in my caveman brain that reminds me of, like, a toxic plant or an insect or something, and it really bothers me. And maybe that's just really bizarre, but yeah, it has a very strange air brake.
See, to me, it just kind of either reminds me of Predator with that wide open mouth,
Yeah, that's
or
true,
a
I guess.
dolphin. At least when it's close, it kind of looks like a dolphin.
I get that. Yeah, I feel that.
That's not the only quirk of it, though, is it? It has another interesting animation.
It does have a rotating bomb bay, which is very, very nice. Here we have the 4 bombs, and I think I've got my keybinds wrong there. But this thing can also carry up to 4 AGMs as well, which is really, really good.
Ballpups, AGM 12B. The
Very
Brits
nice.
finally getting some... I would say this is definitely going to be the best close air support aircraft the Brits will have at the higher tiers.
This and the Scimitar are going to be really, really good. And of course, being this kind of vehicle that this is, it's not incredibly agile and not super quick as well. But for a sort of, you know, in and out kind of strike aircraft, it really does have that covered. And as well, on this city map here, you can see the lights are present on the top of the buildings, which is a really nice effect as well. And also, the street lights on Alaska, and I believe this map at night, are also active at the moment as well. So at night, they do have animations and stuff, which is really, really nice. So I thought I'd show you that here as well with the Buccaneer. And also it has a very nice, here, as you can see.
Oh, I love that gun sight.
It's really nice.
I love that.
Despite it not having any guns, but very, very nice all the same. And also, just as we go back to the hangar here, I will show you the complete loadouts that it can carry. And just to have a look there, let's see if I can get this
I
down
like
for
that
you.
camera. That camera is really nice, actually.
Very nice. And yeah, so I will scroll slowly through here if you guys want to make screenshots or anything. These are all the loadout options that it has at the current time. pretty decent options here. And as well, something I didn't mention is that the bombs are now have a late model. So these are the later bombs as well. So these are all fixed on the British aircraft, which is very, very nice.
That just looks absolutely menacing. How many bombs are there again? 24?
24, yeah. Very nice.
I mean, 500-pound bombs aren't really going to be the most effective against top-tier tanks unless you go for something light-skinned, but you can carpet bomb with this.
It does have the ballistic computer, so it does get the
true, that is
indicator
true.
as well. So it could be pretty precise on that front.
I'm sorry, I just can't get over that tail. I just can't get over that air brake.
It just bothers me.
It really
about
does.
it bothers me.
It's wrong. Something about it is wrong.
Yeah.
It's it goes against our instincts, really. In fact, maybe you can go into test flight real quick. Just show it opening and closing again real quick.
I will do just that.
I can guarantee you, we're going to have plenty of creators who are going to make videos of this, just like a parody videos of things opening and closing. I'm very easily entertained.
You are. Like, this is, I mean, for a few minutes when we were testing stuff out, I was just doing this and you were just having a whale of a time watching it go.
I genuinely was.
Yeah.
I genuinely was. Like, this is my highlight of the patch. Well, apart from the 251 perhaps, but I like these weird quirky animations, I really do. It's lovely.
I mean, how could you not be entertained right now? Look at that. Amazing. Best edition.
Speaking of quirky things, let me show you the new Canadian vehicle, actually. In the British tech tree, we have the ADATS weapon system on the M113 chassis. It looks like a miniature version of the Tunguska, to be honest.
It does like a little chibi version, yeah.
It really does. It's kind of cute, kind of adorable, but menacing at the same time. Now, this does not get a gun like the Bradley ADATS does, but it does get the same missile, 8 of them. As you can see over here in the stats, up to 900 millimeters of penetration. This is a heat/timed fuse hybrid. So you can use this against tanks. You can use this against helicopters. You can use this against airplanes as well. Although, at the moment, I don't believe the radar is working just yet on this early build. So I can't really show it to you how it works against the aircraft, but you know what the ADATS works like. If you've seen the Bradley ADATS, this is pretty much the same thing, just without the gun. And in a much cuter package, to be honest.
It's quite sweet, yeah.
I'm going to say something very controversial. I think that the Bradley ADATS is extremely ugly.
That's certainly a hot take, I'd say. That's Mike's hot take.
I can already see the chat exploding right now. But I'm
sure they are.
Someone certainly has to agree with me, right? I don't really like the way the Bradley ADATS looks, but this is cute. I like this. Yeah, it also has... Why are the antennas bigger than the tank itself?
I never processed that, and my brain completely filtered that information out. So now you've mentioned it, I can't unsee it.
Well, there you go. This is very good internet reception.
Our brains are weird.
Yes. Yes, they are indeed.
So irrelevant, but yes, also true.
Now, Tom has a new ship for the British.
Yeah, I will be taking a quick look again here at the HMS Invincible. Very egotistical name, but that's sort of the British way of doing things like this. It's a battle cruiser, so it's not quite a battleship, so it doesn't share the same level of armor, but it is a lot faster. It's not quite, but it's like just under like double the maximum potential speed of Colossus and Dreadnought and that kind of thing. It also does have a couple of less guns, I think one less gun turret here, so it's not quite as well armed, but on the right firing position, all of the guns can fire. And we're going to take a brief look at the armor here. Not quite as well armored as well, but not really bad at all. So, you know, this is one of the ships that was at Jutland and I think sunk by, was it Lurwitz, I think? Can't remember how to pronounce it.
Can I just mention how ironic it is to have a ship called the Invincible just sink? And not only sink, it was broken in half, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like it did not have a good time. Lutzow, that's the one. My brain kicked in. And also, which I'm very happy about this, Naval does have some new firing effects, and they look really, really nice. So we'll be quickly showing you these as well, if I can get my secondaries to lock on this destroyer over here. We take a look from the side at the new explosions. There's a little shockwave effect, which you can see as well, which is really, really nice. And when we can get the main guns to bear, we can show that as well, which looks really, really great. All the big ships have this effect as well.
I like the smoke.
It's really good, right? It's really bringing them up to line with the aircraft and the tank effects as well. So if we try and fire one of the big guns here. Very, very nice. So these are looking really, really good.
I can get behind this. I can get behind this. I like all these graphical updates that just make the game more immersive and more awesome, really. Now what I really want to do eventually is have a custom battle where we just put a bunch of FE4 or 5s on a ship deck.
That could be quite fun.
That would be absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
An idea for the future, perhaps. But yeah, that's a very, very brief look at Invincible here.
Very nice. Now, let's move over to a nation that generally doesn't tend to get quite as much love, but is going to be very happy about this upcoming vehicle.
This one's great.
Welcome to the STA3. The devlog for this has already been released, so you can read up on that on the War Thunder website. And this is a autoloading gun. Yes, you have an autoload on this one with a 6-second reload. This might not be the only thing you notice, though. Do you notice anything different, Tom?
Oh, perhaps. There's a nice
this camera doesn't.
there.
Yeah, it doesn't really look Japanese, does it?
No.
It looks too nice, I would say. Doesn't look like
bless them.
bubblegum.
They have some good camos here and there.
But yes, lads, this is not the only vehicle that comes new. No, you also get the late green camouflage for pretty much all post-war Japanese tanks now.
Yeah, so those vehicles that previously just had as stock those sort of light blue chalky color for the main skin, they will have a grindable late green skin now as well, which does look really, really nice. I'm really happy about this. I love the new skins, that kind of thing, especially grindable ones like that. So it's a really nice addition.
Very nice indeed. Now let me show you off the STA3 a little bit more. You have a 90mm gun with base AP. You have access to a APCBC shell. Yes.
Brain machine break.
Freudian slip right there. With 185mm of penetration and a decent amount of explosive filler. And of course you also get access to a heat shell. Now I'm going to quickly take this out on test drive because I want to show you the difference between firing a cannon that doesn't have a muzzle brake and one that does, because the firing effects are slightly different. And you can check out how that looks like. And I can show you that this thing, whilst it does not get a stabilizer, the autoloader is quite nice. Maybe I can show you the X-ray as well. There you go. As you can see, you have the ammo in the back, which can be a bit of an issue. Keep in mind, penetrating shots from the front of the turret can detonate that ammo rack in the back. So you might want to watch out for that and maybe not rely too much on the armor, which you really shouldn't. This is a medium tank. But let me show you the firing effect.
Yes, the smoke comes out of the side.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Did you notice that? 6-second reload on the autoloader. Let me show you again, maybe a little bit better angle. Hey, there you go. So yeah, as you can see, the muzzle brakes do affect the way that the flash looks. Which, you know, it's quite nice. Maybe do a little bit of a side shot here. Come on, and... I like this.
Yeah, it's a really nice vehicle. I'm glad it's finally here as well. It really gives a bit more of a backbone to the lineup with the Type 75 SPH and the Ho reproduction as well. Like it really adds to that with the Type 60 recoilless as well. I've been looking forward to this thing for a really long time.
It's something that our player base has really been asking for a long time as well.
Yeah, I think so. And while as a vehicle it's not incredibly good performance-wise in terms of armor and mobility, the firepower really is the excelling factor here. And of course it is the same ammo types effectively as the Type 61 already in the tree. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one works. I'm actually really looking forward to giving this one a go. Very nice.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot.
We do.
What do we have next? Ooh, I see what we have next. I know you've been pretty interested about this one, even though it's kind of a bad vehicle.
I like the underdog, you know? So starting off, I'm going to show you a couple of new low-tier vehicles for China. This is the V11G, the Vol-T, which is an American design. I think about 30 were delivered to China. This is a new low-tier, very, very light bomber. As we can have a look in the modifications, it doesn't exactly have the most excellent bomb load, 1,500 and 250s. Those are pounds, so not exactly the most powerful bombs. But it's a nice, unique low-tier vehicle, and I like additions like this. Very, very sweet design. Quite similar to the TBD, the early naval bombers and design of the wings.
Very similar, yeah. The cockpit design especially as well.
Yeah, it's very similar in that respect. And of course in the wings, 4 7.7s, not exactly the most powerful, and also we're giving this thing a quick test out. It's not exactly the most maneuverable. I know a lot of the low-tier bombers generally do have that extra bit of maneuverability, which does let them have a bit of an advantage against some of the weaker biplanes. They can get some lucky shots, stuff like that. So as a vehicle, it's not exactly going to be the most well-performing thing in the world, but it's a really nice design, and I'm happy it's here effectively. And also, next up, we have a low-tier anti-air for China finally, so I'm really happy about this thing. because it means the lineups from 2.3 to 4.0 with the Shermans, T-34s, M10, and also the late Sherman as well, can have a dedicated anti-air, which is really, really great. And this effectively is a unique model. It couples the French anti-air chassis design here with the quad found on the M16 in the American tree. It's not really as protected as those half tracks. As you can see, there's not exactly any armor here at all.
There literally is none. The crew is completely open there.
But it is a very, very mobile platform. And of course, the 450s work pretty well all over the place. I mean, they're always going to do damage to aircraft. So I'm really, really happy to see this thing finally here. We can actually get some full lineups at the low tier going now, which is great. I'm glad it's a unique design as well.
I know, right?
It's really good.
I really like the M16 we already have in the game, but this one is also quite nice. Like, I like the truck design itself, even though it is very vulnerable, even though it has pretty much no survivability at all. It's a nice little truck design, and being completely wheeled as well. It's, especially on roads, quite nimble.
Yeah, very mobile.
Not bad at all. I see a question in the chat there. Argenis on Twitch asks, can we see the ZTZ99?
The what?
What?
What is that?
What's ZTZ99? Reddit note, by the way. Oh, sorry.
Some
Spoilers.
letters and numbers. I've got no idea what that is.
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
No,
Like,
I mean, what is that? What even is that?
I don't even know. Like,
Is that
what?
a cake?
Maybe?
Is that a country? I don't know. Could be
Maybe.
anything.
It sounds like chemical, to be honest. Something like weirdly German.
Yeah.
ZTZ99.
Yeah, yep. Certainly so. It's, a bit like an alphabet soup. No idea what that is.
I have no idea.
Sorry,
frankly.
can't help
So-
you in that respect.
Sorry, yeah,
No
we'll
idea.
just have to wait for the next update, maybe. I don't know.
No
Honestly,
clue.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's move on to the tech tree, the new tech tree. Finally, it's been a long while. I admit, it has been a long while. But we finally have Italian helicopters in the game. Well, I mean, we did before, we did 29 International. But now we have the actual tech tree. So, we're going to go through these one by one, slowly show them off, starting off with the Huey, which is your first tier helicopter. I'm going to show you the tech tree right here. AB205, which is basically just a Huey, which honestly is not that well armed, really. You have an option between two 7.62mm machine guns, miniguns in fact, which do actually look quite nice, and I like them a lot. And these actually pivot all the way down as well, so you can do strafing runs on anything below you, if you can find anything open top. But generally speaking, these are not really going to be useful against vehicles themselves. Although maybe you can do some strafing runs on artillery positions and that stuff in Helicopter EC, for example.
Yeah, it'll be good for getting assists for sure.
But if you do want to go for the anti-tank loadout, you do have the option of carrying 14 snaps. This is not a lot. This is really not a lot. You're going to have quite good aim, quite a good accuracy to be able to get kills with these. 14 really is not a lot, but they have high penetration, and you can go for certain runs with these as well if you want to. Of course, this is quite low tier, so not too much to expect from there. So let's move on to the more interesting variants. How about that? We have the A109 EOA2. These Italian names are very, very complicated, I have to say. See, this doesn't really look like an attack helicopter, to be honest. In my mind, you could just remove these support beams and winglets over on the side, and it would just be like any other business helicopter, pretty much.
Yeah, it does.
I could see myself flying around.
It does look
with
kind of
this.
civil. I see what you mean.
It really does. It looks sleek, that I have to say. I mean, Italians know how to make good-looking vehicles, to be fair.
Oh, quite so.
And this one does have a lot more options for ordnance. You can mount up to 4 tows. These are tow 1s, BGM-71 tow 1, so not the best HGMs, but they are HGMs, and you can kill some tanks with these if you get a little bit closer. The range isn't exactly the best.
Does this one have any sort of thermal imaging? I haven't actually checked.
I haven't actually checked. We can check it out in a test drive in a second. It does actually. Okay, it does get thermals apparently. Very good.
Cool.
You also have a 12.7mm minigun option, which I can show you.
And the gun pods there as well.
Yeah, there you go. In the gun pods, very nice. Look actually quite beefy. I like this.
Yeah, it's an interesting design for a gun pod actually. Yeah, I quite like it.
I kind of wish we had more, to be honest. I want 4 gun pods.
Oh,
Guardian, please. Yes. And of course, you have all the options of rockets. Now, I believe some of these are not quite correctly displayed, so we're going to put one on. You can have tows and the rockets at the same time, which is quite nice. Let's quickly put it out in test drive. How about that? Just to show you the thermal imaging, if it probably works. Arisaka Arechi on YouTube asks, please show the Baltimore. I'm afraid the Baltimore is not quite yet ready. You will have to wait for the patch itself, most likely. Some of the vehicles we are not going to be able to show all the vehicles, sadly. Some of the event vehicles are not quite ready yet. But as soon as they are, expect some videos from our content creators. So you can get a look at this and... Oh wow, this is actually high resolution. I like this.
That's pretty good.
Very nice. That's why a little toe over there.
But pretty decent, I'd say.
Sadly, no laser-guided missiles, of course. These are just toes. Can we get a kill? See, I'm not used to how slow the toes are, to be honest. Attacks are quite powerful. We can take a look at the cockpit as well, which is quite nice. Oh boy, Giorno over there is looking very menacing, to be honest.
It's quite ominous, yeah.
Very ominous indeed.
I can agree there.
Maybe we can turn off the cockpit light? Yes, we can. There we go. I can tell... This has luxurious back seats.
It does, yeah, I know what you mean.
You could take this out for a cruise in the town with your friends. And destroy some...
Roll down the strip in a
tanks.
helicopter,
Yes.
as you do.
So, yeah, there you go.
It certainly is a helicopter.
But finally, we have one that I actually really like the model of. Now we already had the A129 in the game, the international version, which is quite decent, quite good.
Very nice.
I hope you notice what I notice. Just for comparison, This is the A129 International, the helicopter we've had in the game for a while now. Do you notice anything different, perhaps? This is a 12.7mm machine gun swiveling turret. This is much bigger.
It's much bigger.
Honestly, I think the thing I do like the most is the way the ammo is fed into that. It's just, oh, it looks so good. It looks so good.
It does
So
look
yeah,
really nice.
there you go. This is the A129 CBT, the new top-tier Italian helicopter with a 20mm chain gun in the nose, which is going to be quite interesting. Optics around the nose as well, which these do actually swivel as you turn your sight around. Flares, of course, and as you can see, AGM-114B Hellfires. Laser-guided, quite effective. Up to 8 of them, which pretty much puts us up on par with most of the top-tier helicopters, really.
Yeah, especially at 9.7. Yeah,
This is really quite nice. This is really quite nice. You also, of course, have the option of, if you want to, you can put some rockets underneath the gun pods over here. But honestly, I think the option that most people are going to be using is either just full Hellfires, or what you can actually do as well is you can sacrifice one of the Hellfire pods, so cut down your Hellfire count by half, but you can get yourself some either Mistral air-to-air missiles or Stinger air-to-air missiles. I believe the Mistrals are slightly better, but in the end, it really comes down to personal preference.
Yeah, there are some differences. I kind of like the Stingers, I think, but I mean, I haven't really spent too much time with them. But pretty good all the same.
So, there you go. This is the A129, and honestly, Okay, sorry, I have to take this on a test flight, because I really love the way the front of this helicopter looks. It looks great. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. I should have probably made this in daytime, but it's fine.
Stunning and brave helicopter. Spark effects do look really nice.
Especially at night. Oh, interesting. The flares actually fire up.
That's cool. I like that.
Ah. So now you can... This is pretty much like... imagine killing your enemy and then rubbing it in by just spamming V.
That's kind of cool, I must admit.
I like this. I like this a lot. Now, speaking of effects, we did promise you we were going to show you a very nice effect. Tom has it loaded right now.
Yes.
Let's move over to the automatic.
Yeah, of course, a very familiar vehicle, especially to fans of the Italian ground forces. But the automatic does have a new effect for its firing, as well as pretty much all of the tanks as well. And we can take a look at it here. It looks really, really nice.
The way the grass moves, reacting to the fire as well, and the way the whole entire area is illuminated. You even got like bits of dirt flying off. Can you maybe show it from the front? You can also see the shell casing eject out the front, can't you?
Yeah, down the bottom there. Right underneath the gun if you watch it. There we go.
See, and this is during daytime. During nighttime, this is going to be looking even more amazing, to be honest.
The brightness is just right. I really like this. It's such a good effect.
Just right. I like this a lot. So yeah. Maybe towards the end of the stream, maybe we can show one more vehicle that our chat wants to decide. I have a feeling most people are going to be wanting to see the KV2, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll maybe host a little poll to show one last firing effect. Now, moving on from that, we have something I think people have been waiting for a long time and are very excited about. This has already been announced in the dev blog about the upcoming winter event. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battlefield, the French Panhard EBR.
Eber.
Do I need to say anything? I mean,
Not
I
really.
think people already know everything they want to know about this thing, don't they? This is a new wheeled vehicle for the French Yak-38 with a SA-50 cannon, which is actually quite powerful. Keep in mind this is also still placeholder. Might be a little bit low of battle rating, to be honest, for this kind of power. But, as you can see, SA-50 cannon, 182 minutes of penetration on the pure AP shell. No other options of shells, but this is a really, really, really powerful cannon on a really, really, really mobile chassis as well, as you can see.
Mobile.
You have the rubber wheels in the front, you have these kind of tractor metal wheels in the middle. At the moment, no, you cannot use the actual real-life function that this vehicle had, where you could retract these metal wheels to get a bit less ground resistance and higher speed on roads. But I'm going to show you what this thing looks like in a test drive.
And I think it's probably one of the most maneuverable in terms of actually changing position vehicles that I've seen, which I'm excited to see again here.
So maybe kind of show... I can, yeah. So... Okay, first things first. This tank looks pretty much exactly the same from the front as it does from the back, which really confuses me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have a feeling people are going to very often get confused which way they are driving.
Yeah, I did as well. When I was testing it earlier, I genuinely forgot. Like, my brain just switched off and did not process that I was going back.
And even from the side, it's so perfectly symmetrical. It kind of looks like a crab.
It is a bit like a crab, yeah. Crab tank. I like that.
Oh, firing fat. As you can see, this is not stabilized. It is an oscillating turret.
Yeah,
it is very much quite mobile, and you may have seen this a little bit before. The back wheels do actually pivot as well. Quite a lot, actually. So, in terms of wheeled vehicles, this is probably one of the ones that can turn the tightest, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know tracked tanks that have a wider turning circle than this. For wheeled vehicles, this is really quite good.
Yeah.
Really quite good indeed. Let's check out the top speed in a reverse, maybe?
Go for it.
I mean, keep in mind, this is on ground. This is not the ideal situation for wheeled vehicles. Ideally, you want to take this on as solid ground as you can. Streets, roads, concrete, all the good stuff. Firing effect is very nice. Once again, you can notice that the muzzle brake does have a slight effect on the way that the muzzle blast is directed. Very high damage, and as you can see, 42 kilometers per hour, backwards, on rough terrain, no problem. This is a very, very mobile vehicle.
Yeah.
And thankfully,
so well as well.
it does. It really does. I mean, you do bleed a lot of speed there. You have to be kind of careful with your turning because you can turn pretty quickly and bleed all your speed. But there you go. This is the Panhard EBR finally making it to the game. This will be available as the first reward here of the upcoming Operation Winter event. So this will not be too hard to get. Keep an eye on it. Check how to do tasks. Play the game and get it. This is definitely one that is worth getting.
To go for.
That is one we're definitely worth going for. And next up we have... Ooh.
Yeah, I'll be showing a couple of some of the new French track designs, and also probably one of my favorite ones. So first off, I'll have a brief look at the Leclercs here, which is... the shape there reminds me of something. I think it's Black Mirror. But anyway, so that just pick, like, again, caveman brain. So you can have a look at the new tracks on the Leclerc here, which are very, very nice, but I'm stalling to show you probably my favorite ones that are found on the ARL and the B1 Biz here. I know, we'll get to it. So before, these had a bit more of a 2D design in terms of the way the tracks look, but now they are completely 3D, as we can see from the side, and they do look really, really nice. I like this design a lot, and this tank is looking amazing, frankly.
I think saying completely 3D is an understatement. These have to be some of the most 3D tracks in the game.
They are very 3D.
They are very, very 3D.
What do they look like, Mike? What do they look like? Tell us, come on.
See, without wanting to offend an entire nation, I'm sorry, but these tracks look like forms for making baguettes. And I'm pretty sure they were at some point used that way.
There we go. That's the peak now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just sweet désolé. This is about as much French as I can, but I mean, I like the way the tracks look. I have to say, I genuinely like the way the tracks
look. They do look very, very nice.
But at the same time, it's a weird design.
It is kind of weird, yeah. But I guess it was sort of sort of a trench crossing design. I can't remember if that's what they were for or not.
Actually, especially on this one, the road wheels are a bit elevated, aren't they?
Oh.
Oh yeah, you have like a thicker middle bit. This is interesting as well. I don't think I've ever seen a track design like this before.
Yeah. Very, very interesting looking tracks. As well, we can take a very quick look at the F-84 for the French here as well, with its own unique camo. And I believe at the moment they all do have basically the same in terms of ordnance options here. Well, maybe a bit different. I can't quite remember. Yeah, this is the French one. Not really any different from the American one at present, but a very, very nice model all the same. And as a lot of nations are getting these, hopefully you'll be seeing some very nice skins on the market as well by the skinners with this particular aircraft here.
Let's just say this is definitely the patch for the F-84 fans. The F-84's Thunder Screech is coming to a lot of nations with everyone having their unique camo and quite nice looking camos overall. I think the only one that maybe wasn't quite as nice in my personal opinion, which is what I'm going to quickly show you right here, was the German one.
I quite like the German one.
See, I don't know, because
it's got its little dirt mouth on it.
I'm usually a fan of silly things. I mean, I like plastering my face all over my tanks.
He does.
But at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't really look right here. This like fish mouth. I mean, the mouth bits maybe, but the eyes just look a bit dopey.
See, I like the little derpy look. It's great. It's
I do
sweet.
like the rest of the design though.
Yeah, the red
accents over here on the tail, especially. I like doing this on my planes regularly as well, on the wingtips and on the elevator tips. This I like. This I like a lot.
Quite like it.
But I think it is time, lad. I think it is time. We have one last nation to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game. The evolution of the SK-60, which was a huge hit from the last update. I've seen a lot of people playing that. It's a great maneuverable little plane, and it's getting an upgrade. The Saab 105G is pretty much a straight upgrade over the SK-60 with good loadout choices. Yeah. Let's just say that. So I can show you quickly the loadout options over here. You have the option to carry RB-24Js. These are currently, I believe, only found on the Draken, the J-35D. These are essentially functionally very similar to the AIM-9Js that you can find on some of the Phantoms, later Phantoms. And these are very, very, very powerful missiles. Although you do only get two of them. At the same time, you can also carry up to 4 1,000-pound bombs. Great for CAS. But with none of these loadouts, you can actually carry missiles at the same time as the as the gun pods. So you do have the option, of course, of carrying the 30mm gun pods if you want to, which are quite nice. But you have to kind of make a trade-off. If you want to carry these for close-range dogfights, which this thing is really good at, or if you want to carry the air-to-air missiles, which once you fire those two, you don't have anything left. Yeah. Of course, you also have the option of some rockets and all that good stuff. So yeah, this one is quite nice.
I love the little V here underneath the front of the tail. That's a really nice little design.
It actually
is. Like a
is.
little sports car.
I wonder if that's actually customizable, if custom skins can make something interesting with that.
That could be fun.
That could be interesting. This little horn here at the front as well. The whole... This looks very German, actually. Sweden, why? I do like the bomb design a lot as well.
Yeah, they do look really nice.
Which is quite nice. So, I believe this is pretty much all that we have to show for today. But, let's do one last thing. I'm going to quickly head over to the Twitch chat. And I'm going to see... what do you guys want to see? The last vehicle. Let's select one last vehicle that you guys want to see the firing effect of. Chat, let me know. What kind of firing effect do you see? Tell us one last vehicle. Oh, by the way, the Asrat R. Yes, I completely skipped over this. This is a new anti-air vehicle for the Swedish. It does have very good stuff. Very good stuff. I can't show it to you just yet, though. It's not quite ready. You will have to wait for the test server to test it out yourself. Sorry. I can only show it to you in the hangar with the thing. In fact, I can show you the Reddit mode, so you can take screenshots of the set cards and put them on Reddit for easy karma. There you go. Very nice. I'll show you the ZTZ99 either. I mean, it doesn't exist. What's the ZTZ99? I don't know what you're talking about. The ZTZ99 does not exist.
That's just an
so I can't show you the firing effect of that.
Spaghetti soup, though. No idea.
Ooh, Object 279 could be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
279, KV2 could always be a nice one. Ooh, the Centurion AVRE. Okay, let's host a little quick poll. I will put a poll in the chat, and you guys will be able to decide which one you want to see. This is on Twitch, by the way. If you want to take part of on the poll and you're watching on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv/warthunder. In the meantime, maybe can you show off... what else can we show, actually? What is something that we haven't shown? Maybe another variant of the F-84.
Yeah, I can take a look at a couple of the other ones here. So if we have a look here, we can see the Italian version. Again, complete with pretty much exactly the same ordnance options here as all the others. I don't believe they're very different at the moment. They all have roughly the same as the American version, which isn't really too bad. I mean, as far as they go with the 2 drops, they're really not too bad at all. And as well, with the performance of this jet, it's pretty maneuverable. It has a decent speed, especially for 8.0, which, you know, I'm kind of excited to see how this one perform. It's been a while since I've played the other version, the, what's it called? Thunder something. They're all Thunder somethings. The other previous version. But these are really nice, sleek design. I love the swept wings as well, and it really does have that extra bit of maneuverability over the other F-84
I love the
version.
camo in that, actually. I really love the camo. The camo is actually really quite nice. Sorry about that. Those yellow accents. I don't know what it's about the yellow accents. Like, purely yellow planes I generally don't like, but the yellow accents on especially this kind of like gunmetal finish, it looks really quite nice.
Yeah,
Bare
it's
metal
very
finish,
nice.
I should say.
I like the little decal here as well.
Yeah.
That's quite sweet.
It kind of looks like a nuke, to be honest.
It does a bit.
That's scary. Very, very scary. Don't eat random mushrooms, let's just say that. So
Yeah,
we have the poll currently running on the Twitch chat, and oh boy. Oh, actually interesting. Really, guys?
Okay.
Huh. So I put up a poll between the KV2, the Mouse, the AVRE, the M1 Abrams, and the Top 75 SPH. Personally, I would have thought that the KV2 would have won.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
I mean,
as well.
it's a classic, really. A second, I would have said the Mouse, to be honest, because then you have the double firing effect of the 75 and the 128.
It's true.
But AVRE is actually winning.
Ooh.
Well, fine. This is the decision of the chat, and we shall oblige. So, let's quickly switch over to the AVRE, and we shall show you the firing effect. I don't think it's really going to be that much different from the FE4 saw.
A little different, remember when we...
I mean, it's a different caliber, of course. So let's quickly give it a test drive. Sorry, lads, no ZTZ. You will have to wait for the dev server. Alright, there we go. AVRE. We're actually going to turn towards the sun just to make it really nice and cinematic. There we go. HUD off. Reddit mode on.
Reddit mode.
Enjoy the fire.
Very nice.
The long-lasting effect. Let's try it again. No, I mean, the ZTZ does not exist. Sorry. The ZTZ does not exist. It's, no, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Absolutely no idea. Nonsense.
Oh my god, I went blind. Ow.
Oh, wowzers, trousers, Mike.
See, this is just the perfect combination between a short-barreled gun and a big caliber for really blinding you with muzzle flash. This is going to be terrifying at night battles, to be honest.
Oh, yeah,
Can you
that's the
imagine
point.
this blasting in your face with night vision on?
Ow.
You're going to be blind. You're going to go blind. So, hey, lads, maybe that's what you want to buy next. Sunglasses is probably not a bad bet. But, lads, I believe this is going to be it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this preview of the upcoming updates. You can expect a dev server soon, sometime.
Yeah, with a big old TM there.
Keep an eye on the forums. You'll be able to know soon enough. Of course, don't forget that this weekend we do have Twitch drops active. So by watching pretty much any Twitch stream on War Thunder stream on Twitch, I should say, you can get yourself a free decal, you can get yourself a free day of premium, and you can get yourself a free vehicle, a boat. Anything you want to add, Tom?
Oh, I think that's pretty much a nice closure to our little sneak peek stream here.
That is. Of course, let us know on social media what you are looking forward to the most. In my case, definitely 251, the weird air brake on the Buccaneer, and the firing effects. I really am a fan of the firing effects. I like the tracks, but firing effects over tracks. Definitely. Definitely so.
I see. I can respect that.
So lads, thank you very much for watching the War Thunder official channel. My name is Marcus Boom. I've been joined by the lovely Tom, aka Oxy, and we shall hopefully see you next Friday. Good.
See you soon.
Bye.